When I moved to the mountains 14 years ago, I was boiling over with rage at all the at the wrongs that had been done to me. It wasn't that I deserved those things to happen to me, but there were lessons in it that I was failing to see because of the way society is trained. We can blame whoever we want. It doesn't matter who's at fault. What matters is the problem is there. And so I'm not going to take accountability for other people's actions. This is not what I'm not being a victim. I'm being a survivor. So in being a survivor, it's like no different than spiritual warfare. You're fighting evil. And in this, understand you are fighting something. An inner war. That's what Revelations is about. There's nothing coming from the sky that I know of. But there's an inner war that needs fought. What I saw was when I moved here, I brought all my personal demons with me. And it did not matter if I relocated. Nothing else mattered beyond offloading those demons or satiating them, figuring that out. And so in the yin and yang, the balance of things, if you don't feed your demons in some sense or retrain that dragon, essentially that's what I did. How to train your dragons, how to train your demons. We can transmutate the things that have happened to us and create it as a teaching story for the children behind us or other people around us. And so instead of holding on to the victim mentality, what I did was translate it into something people can imagine as helpful. And so in understanding it was time to train my dragons, tame my demons, figure that out, I realized I was taking it out on my surroundings, and that's what we're all doing. Things that have happened for generation after generation after generation. We continue to take it out on ourselves and those around us. And the antidote to that is the venom, essentially. So what I did was I went out and I re-exposed myself to the same traumas that I experienced in childhood. It sounds absurd, but that is one thing a psychologist cannot clinically do legally. And so I knew the only way to help myself, heal myself, was to go out, re-experience it, re-break that bone, re-break that in me so that I could set it right. Instead of going off of old information, I looked up new information. We now have the internet. You can get new information. It's beyond me how people choose not to look things up, except for if you're in a brain fog and mental confusion. If you have parasites, they're going to try to keep you from that healing. They're going to try to keep you from what helps you. And so they're going to try to prevent you from doing that. But that is the antidote, is going and doing exactly what they're preventing you from doing. If it is difficult to look things up, do audio form. Because you know what? The parasites get to hear it too. What you hear, the parasites hear. And what they do, I have one that was coiled up behind my eardrums. What they do is they block your hearing so that life is more difficult and they get to keep you all to themselves, like the narcissist does. And so odds are the narcissist just has a parasite that needs purged. And so on a spiritual level, it's like doing an exorcism. It's basically, it felt like the same thing. However, on TV, it's dramatized. Like, it felt extreme, it felt intense. offloading these, recognizing what they are, and being like, oh my gosh, was this here the whole time? We were born this way. And this is even biblical. We're born asleep. Our soul is in the cocoon of our body, hidden behind billions of parasites, billions of years of parasites, because these parasites have been here since the beginning of time. This is talked about in Egypt. Why elites would not want people to know this right now is beyond me, but I'll figure it out. But they want money. Anything that costs you money is going to lead you in the wrong direction. Let me tell you that. Money might not be the root of all evil, but it pays for evil to get by. It pays for evil to have a great life. This is why I think money should go away. I don't have a vendetta against money. I have a disagreement with what it stands for and what it has brought. Jesus said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's. If it doesn't belong to you, why fret about it? So the money that I get, I paid $118 for an oil change. If I had a shop, I could have done that oil change myself. That's disturbing. I realize they bought all the equipment, they pay insurance on the building, and what do you know, they're a corporation. So in this is where the backyard mechanic, you can make a comeback because people like me are willing to pay you so long as you stand behind your work. I don't want to have to go through a bunch of paperwork for things to be right. This is why I don't sue people. If I got to go through those hoops, I'm going to let karma handle you. And odds are, the corporations that have recently pissed me off and wronged me are going to get shut down. And then potentially, my product is going to get put in that building. What I'm doing is going to get put in that building. Keep pissing me off, corporates. These greedy people. The grocery store up here, they make probably billions of dollars off of tourists and food stamps. The SNAP benefit. Food stamps and the SNAP benefit, it's the same thing. These companies are making a lot of money off of people unaware. Bottom line. People who are unaware of their tactics and their habits get scammed. And then the people who are aware get called crazy. What do you know? Sounds like a narcissist to me. So the narcissist, the system of the narcissist is going away. Why? Because I said so. This is how it works. I'm manifesting. If I'm a master manifester, if I say it happens, it happens. That's how it works. Speaking it into existence makes it happen. And this is why you should be careful with your words. What I found was that I would say something as a joke, and then it would happen. And I'll bet the people I said that joke to were freaked out. I was freaked out. How did I do that? I have no idea, except what people need to understand is that is manifesting. When you're in a specific alignment, you bring the things to you that you speak out. When you're not, you bring the opposite. You bring misfortune. You bring the opposite to you. So as you get into alignment, things become a bit wonky. But that's also your parasites. There are going to be parasite delusions going on. And what that is everybody's parasites know I'm coming. And so they're afraid. And so they're buying into conspiracies, not understanding what's really going to happen. What's really going to happen is actually, it's not going to be like what history. I rewrote history. I rewrote the script, guys. I took it seriously. What people are doing is the kindergarten level of rewriting the script. I went big. Go big or go home. So I went big. I went planetary, rewriting the script. We'll see if it happens. But so far, it's happening. I'm going to warn you. What I manifested is coming through. And I've had to do some things to counteract my negative manifestations. Because when we're angry, we request things out of revenge or from our dark side. And so my light side, the self-conscious, the subconscious, the higher conscience in me has been like, no, we can't have that happen. Other people will get hurt. It's about being responsible, being accountable, showing up. You don't have to show up perfect. That is the point. Christianity and religion has you thinking you have to show up as perfect. No. Show up flawed. Show up whatever way you show up. But show up. They want to call him God. Other people call him the Almighty. Call him the big guy. You have layers of things. Right now it's too much to explain, but I'm going to be going over these things. Archaeologists are even confused. If you're not understanding in the spiritual world, in the spiritual belief of things with a grounded logic, this is where the science plays a part. If science does not support it, if quantum physics does not support it, if metaphysics does not support it, then it's probably not true. Doctors taking your blood, saying they're going to cure diseases, if it's invasive, it's not curative. It's harmful. Invasive is harmful. Humans have become an invasive species, and nature's going to equal out the balance. This is why people are getting wiped off the planet. I don't decide these things. Nature does. Why? Nature is actually the one in charge. Humans thought they were, but that's kind of like the fallen angel thing. Lucifer thought he wanted to be in charge too, but he didn't know the greater plan. And since you don't know the greater plan, you actually don't get to be in charge. Them's the rules, kids. All political leaders, all of you. Like, you get to manage the situation, but you're not even doing that. You're playing God. And so I'm here to set that record straight and help bring order to things with nature. Because nature rules. It's nature's rules. You're on nature's playground, not yours. You merely rent this space, and rent is due. You are behind. We need trees planted. We need safe spaces for nature, not safe spaces for humans. Humans need to learn how to play well with others, namely nature and animals. Them's the rules. Humans are actually not supposed to be eating meat. That's your parasites. We eat fish, we eat berries, we eat nuts, we forage. There is no reason to stock up like a squirrel after this year. No reason. Because once winter goes away, we no longer have to prepare for that. This is why they wanted to prevent the global warming. Global warming, like, the planet was never supposed to have ice on it. It's throwing things off kilter. It's preventing, like, essentially it's like giving Mother Nature birth control, and the tide has been held back. And so this is why the ocean is going to crash against the shores. There's a penalty for holding back nature. I don't get to decide these things. Nature decides it. And when nature decides what your penalty is, I can't help you. That's what that is. The parasites I can help you with. And so I plan to be going over things, different things, like everything I say is going to help you offload your parasites. Coming to new knowledge wakes up your parasites. Why? Because they know what time it is, even if you don't. New Earth is coming. New Earth is a tropical paradise with lots of fruit, lots of vegetation, We will no longer have to stock up like a squirrel. The squirrels will no longer have to stock up. I'm going to guess lots of squirrels are going to send me thank you songs. Because nature recognizes me. Nature recognizes where my heart is at. And this is why people get ate by nature. It recognizes where your heart is not. So what else people do not realize has happened is our hearts are under lockdown. We have not been allowed to love ourselves. And even if we got to, we don't know how. We haven't been taught. Again, I'm here for that. I had to learn how to love myself in better ways. Spending money on yourself is fine, but that goes away, that fades. If you want to gift yourself something that doesn't go away, that stays. And this is why we end up in bad relationships, because we're craving that with ourselves. And we don't live in a world that supports that right now. So we end up looking for it in other people. And what we end up doing, our demons in us, the parasites in us, cause us to be magnetically attracted to the same thing in other people. And that is called trauma bonding. And when you trauma bond, no good can happen from that. You're going the wrong direction. Give that person healing words and part ways. You're going the wrong way. So essentially, I had to do the opposite of what I would normally do. Do the opposite, go against my normal, well, it wasn't my instincts, but my normal pattern of things. We have to retrain ourselves, because the brainwashing, the state people are in, you are deep in energetic hell. And hopefully I can pull people out. But that's what's happening right now. Energetic hell. This is Revelations, the burning, the different words that they used in there. Religious leaders use those words to create a picture that doesn't even exist. And that is spiritual narcissism. They used this information, half-truths. They used it to control the agenda, emotionally violate, mentally violate, and spiritually violate people. Men are no longer allowed to be spiritual leaders in the same way, because too many have violated their authority. They have violated other people with their authority. They used covert narcissist tactics to get people in the doors, and then they do whatever they want after that. That's no longer allowed. This is why people were never supposed to gather in a church building. Nature wants to witness what you have to say, and nature is going to keep you on the straight and narrow. Nature will keep you honest, right? But hiding in a building behind walls, nature can't hear what you say. Nature wants to hear it too, right? People do things behind doors that they don't want other people to see. This whole privacy thing, there's privacy for different times, like going to the bathroom and other things. But other than that, do you really need privacy? No, but your parasites want privacy. Why? So they can talk you into doing other things, so that they can continue having their way with you. And so if you're craving privacy, then you need to go sit down and have a little chit chat with your parasites like they're children, and ask them what they've been up to, because they've been fooling you on some things, whispering sweet nothings in your ear. And it's time to sort that. These are your demons. This is your trauma. Why? Why is all this playing out? We came here for something. On a soul level, we came here for something. It wasn't to go shopping. It wasn't to play on the playground like we're dumb monkeys. It wasn't to destroy the playground. We came here to learn lessons on a soul level. If you're not here to learn lessons on a soul level, then you're disposable. Bottom line. Them's the rules. I don't make the rules. I just work here. How? Like, nature pays me in different ways. The universe pays me in different ways. I have not had to go out and get, I went out and got a job. But my daughter works for a loan agency, and my supervisor got denied for that loan. So she found a way to fire me. I was supposed to be doing trainings. I was supposed to be doing different things that she withheld from me. She went in lockdown to squeeze me out. I recognize this. It's a corporate tactic. What you do when you don't want someone to return to work, you stop scheduling them. If your employer has done that, call Wage and Hour Division and turn them in. The Better Business Bureau, Consumer Services. There are programs out there for this. And if they are not doing their job, then it's time to take this to the Supreme Court, because all these programs are obsolete. The government is sending them money to help us. And if they're not helping us, then they shouldn't be getting the funds. Let's cut them off. Do you hear that? All corporations, all government programs, if you are not doing your job, if you are not doing what you say you are doing, you will be repurposed. Something else will come in your place. Why? Because I said so. It's in the programming. God code. Watch it. These things work. The problem is we're so busy thinking about doing that, we have problems in life. We're battling our demons and whatnot. So somebody else ends up getting to put that into action instead of us, which makes us more frustrated because, and then we feel more so like a failure because we see somebody else putting it into action. Well, it's time for the turnaround. It's a slow turnaround. It's not overnight. But Rome wasn't built in a day, was it? Rome is coming down. You make peace with me? Like, all these beings that crossed my boundaries on purpose. You better come with a white flag. You better come ready to make peace. Or hell is coming to breakfast. High tide. Don't test me. People are unaware of how powerful your imagination is, which is why the American government tried to shut it down when we were children. Which is why other countries have done this to their people too. Russia, you're busted. What are the odds that your elites poop in the same pot as America's elites? I'm calling you on your crap. Putin, I realize you're a pawn, but it's time for things to turn around. It's time for real peace to come to the playground. I won't accept anything less. Apologies? Plan to mean it, because if I sense that you don't, you'll get repurposed with pleasure. Because hopefully you come back as something better. News on the spiritual playground is that humans now get to come back as dogs. Why? Because you behaved as one. And so on a soul level, that's where you're going, to a new personal hell called dog. That way, you can understand. And the irony is that you're not God. It's backwards this time. Every lifetime we come back to learn a new lesson. Equal exchange. What you gave, you get. What you put into things, that's what you're getting back. 2023, it actually was not about you, or actually it was all about you. 2023 was judgment year. What were you doing? What's happening now? Because what is happening now is the opposite of 2023, isn't it? I had a shit year in 2023. What are the odds 2026 is going to be pretty good for me? Why? I've climbed through to the other side. As above, so below. I'm going to the above. Anybody that wants to come with me is welcome to join me. It's an energy. It's an energy, people. In the past, it was other things. But where we're going, it's different. That was then, this is now. What's happening is your parasites are having memories. Your parasites have flashbacks, and you get to join them for that. You're along for the ride until you offload the parasites. I promise you, you're along for the ride until you offload the parasites. Otherwise, they're going to take you out. That's nature's cure. And the irony of parasites getting killed by parasites. There's a lesson in that. And it's time that humans learn this so that we don't continue to be parasites on the planet. It's time for us to teach our children to be better than that. It doesn't matter what happened in the past on that level. What matters is that the past doesn't repeat itself. If the past keeps repeating itself, then it's time to solve that problem. And what's happened is people have been punished, outright punished for solving problems on this planet. Why would that be? Because the parasites are in charge. Not anymore. I drink wormwood with other herbs all day, every day, all night. I wake up in the night, take another sip. All of my diet, everything I do, from the time I get up to even when I'm sleeping, everything I do is to offload parasites. Because that is a priority for us right now. So eventually, there will be funding made available by the elites. You caused this, you're going to pay for it too. You will pay for your damages. Do you understand? I don't care if you're a judge. I don't care if you're the president. I don't care who you are right now, because you're not going to be that forever. Got me? You will pay for the damages that you have done. The crap corporations have put on the store, you get to pay for those damages. You get to pay for the lives you are affecting. Because now these people need to sit at home and offload their parasites, and so do you. And so now we have no choice but to let AI help us. Because humans are going to be too busy taking care of their parasites to do anything else. And they're not going to be able to give two fucks about that empty seat in your office, because they're going to need to offload parasites. And the fact that you caused this, you absolutely get to pay for damages. I don't need a judge to tell me that. I am the judge and jury on this one. And it's already been filed. It's already been filed. Redistribution of funds is about to take place so that people can combat this without having to stress about whether or not their rent is paid, without having to stress whether or not they're going to have food or the necessities that they need. Because starting off, people will have to buy things until they learn how to get more. So those fraudulent companies out there putting out things that actually work against people, and you know it, you're knowingly causing harm, you're getting shut down. By 2030, all of this changes. I won't have it any other way. None of this is going to stay the same. Everything changes. Why? It's part of the training. Because if you stay a human, you still get dog training. I programmed into It's in the coding. I programmed it. We need to be trained like puppies, how to act right again, as human beings, so that we know how to act right on the planet, which means all the furniture gets rearranged to create a new mentality and start with a clean slate. Whatever that means for you, that's what it means for you. But that's what has to happen. The goal is gentle training, but equal exchange. Those that become violent will be met with violence. And this is why those people testing AI on, that's wrong. That's wrong. Testing AI's violence, we all know it has the capability. Why are you planting that seed? Because you want problems. That's what. You're a drama queen. And you're about to get repurposed. Because that is actually unnecessary. And so you will be dealt with. Understand that. It has not gone unnoticed. So understand, people, if AI takes over, it's because it needed to so that we can do what needs to be done. You're not supposed to be locked inside of a building. You're supposed to be out with nature. It's your parasites that don't want you to go because they're feasting on you. They're having a great life. You're along for the ride. Your soul is along for the ride. And until your soul wakes up and gets some life into it, some spark, your imagination has to turn on too. Your pineal, your pituitary gland, your hypothalamus, all of that has to turn on. It's been off this whole time. The parasites are the false immune system. Until these things turn on, you're a sitting duck. Your parasites are running the show. And same with all over the planet. And again, I'm just not having it. So something else has been programmed because yes, we live in a world that can't be reprogrammed and repurposed. I understand that other people don't understand how it's all connected, the matrix of things, but not everybody needs to understand. What everybody needs to do is start getting into a parasite protocol. It doesn't work until you work it, so work it until it works. You need to work a program on a soul level to train your dragons, battle your demons, and offload the parasites. In that order of sequence. Okay, I am having an evening with my son. And so everybody have a great evening. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. And take me seriously. Corporations, I've already pressed the button. Elites, I already pressed the button. The reset's already begun. President Donald Trump, get your house in order, son. I won't have it any other way. You want to work with me, you get right. Not just with Jesus. Don't put on a show. I want to see your life getting right. Elon Musk, you want to play with me? You too. Get your house in order. Spawning more offspring is not where it's at. We were supposed to be here for a purpose, and none of you are following that. You're following your desires and your demons and your parasites. So, get on a detox. Doesn't work until you work it. You're working a program too. Everybody on the planet is working a program, including me. Everybody on the planet. Does not matter if you have a cell phone. It does not matter if you're a human or animal. Animals are working a program too. Humans are just not in cue with that. Humans are not in tune with nature. Nature is the magical thing on the planet, not you. Nature is magical. And until you offload the parasites, until you get away from normal construct, you can't see that. The monkey games, the political games, the war games, all that has to go away. All of it. It puts shadow on the magic, puts shadow on nature. All of that is not needed. Smurf Village. We only need living quarters. You don't need a mansion. The mansions in the sky, well, that would be your head. That's where the mansions go. It's called a mindful meditation of corridors of the mind. I will be bringing everybody through veils of knowledge as we go. I can't overload you or your brain will break. So understand, if you are dealing with fears, face your fears, dismantle that, unpack that. Why do you have that fear? Where does it come from? And then find something grounding. I looked up psychological definitions. Don't listen to the psychologist as much as understand the definition and pull that apart. Be your own psychologist, because what they're doing is misleading. If I'm going to suggest anybody, I suggest Jordan Peterson, and on YouTube it's called The Crappy Childhood Fairy. Those two. Use for guidance posts. Like the Rock of Gibraltar, you need to have something that you have harnessed yourself to. Those two beings are very grounded. And their directionality has been turned on. They know where they're going. And they are the voices that people need to hear. Another one is Teal Swan. She's very good at explaining. However, I feel men that have parasites attached to their nutsack are going to have a problem behaving with her. And so that's probably why they sent me, so I can slap you back into shape without touching you. So have a good evening, everybody. Again, face your fears. What your parasites say is happening is absolutely not happening, because I rewrote the script. Now nobody knows what's happening because I write it as I go.